Hey guys, this is James from Man Tripping. We are here on another awesome Men Who Blog virtual happy hour. And as you can see, I've got my Padres gear going. I've got my AleSmith Hazy 394 IPA, which, if you're not a San Diegan, you probably don't recognize the reference, but everybody in San Diego recognizes that 394. Oh, my brain just completely fried, but well, we will come back to on the player, but that was one of the Padres All-Star players. Probably says that anyhow on here, but anyhow, Tony Gwynn. I apologize, guys. It's been a crazy morning, but we've got some cool stuff going on. Not only do we have some beer, we've got some awesome jerky from the Craft Jerky Company. They are a subscription box that can deliver you boxes of jerky every month. So I know Ashley, Pub Clubette Ashley, has some as well. She's going to be going on. We're going to be doing a quick tasting maybe, and I don't know what pairs well with Hazy IPA, but we will probably find that out. But anyhow, we have awesome guests today. We have Joe from Joe's Daily, who's joined us from L.A. But he and I met. Actually, we met before, but he and I met a few years ago on a beer tour in San Diego. So he's going to be talking about some of the places that he's been. And we've got Sujit from the East Coast, who is going to be talking about some of the places that he's visited in San Diego as well. You know what? He's just a cool guy. He's from Guys Gab. Joe's from Joe's Daily. But I would be remiss if I didn't introduce our favorite buddy, Kevin, from Pub Club. And Kevin, I think I'm going to do my quick joke, but they say that beer is not the answer, not the solution, but it is the answer. Or you know what? I am so freaking messed up today. It's just one of those days.
How many of these 394s have you had, Mr. Gwynn?
Well, they gave me a case of it, and I split half the case with you, and I only have 2 left. So, I'm so disorganized right now. I'm showing it to the camera, but I realized that you're full screen, so they can't even see me going to the camera. It is just one of those episodes. So you know what? I have accomplished my goal by making you laugh, by setting you up so you can look smarter and funnier than I could ever be. So take it from here, Kevin.
All right. Well, you do have me laughing. I haven't tried this yet, so let me try it.
And that was me drinking it.
Oh, well, that's good. I like that pop sound. It's like a champagne pop cork.
And now I have beer spray in my microphone, so that's great.
You're having an off day today. Hey, I like this. Look at this color. It's definitely hazy. Tony Gwynn's 394 lifetime batting average. And that's what that refers to, the Hazy 394. And it's definitely hazy. AleSmith Brewing Company. The PR guy was kind enough to respond to James and said, I'll give you guys a case of beer. And James responds back like, oh, well, we don't need a case. We'll just take a 6-pack or something. I'm like, dude, wait a minute. Bring the case. Hello, I'll drink what you don't want.
It is really good. I'm glad they gave us the case because, like I said, I only have a couple of these left. But I guess
this
that's
my first one. This is my first one. So I gave one to my neighbor Digger, who's been ordering food from around the country and doing a kind of a small happy hour on Fridays for a few of us in the apartment complex. So I like to give him some of our alcohol that we get. So I love beer. Beer's my favorite. I love rum. I love tequila. And James has let me experience scotch and whiskeys and stuff. But I'm a beer drinker first and foremost. And I have a bar joke for you involving beer. All right. What's the difference in the G-Spot and craft beer?
Oh, boy.
And anyone know? Ashley, do you know?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Ashley's excited about this question. The difference in the G-Spot and craft beer.
Guys can find a craft beer.
Are you ready? You're very close. Guys know where to look when it comes to the craft beer.
Oh, my God. Cheers.
Cheers.
And Ashley, you're muted right now, so apparently the AleSmith is kicking in for you, too.
We're going to have one of these crazy shows today.
Yeah, and then and here's Sujit as well.
Sujit!
What's up, guys?
Hey.
What's up,
So-
man?
You guys know the three of us, James, Kevin, and Ashley, But Joe, I'll let you kind of talk about what you do and your experience with craft beer, San Diego, and all
Sure.
that kind of fun stuff. And then Sajid, I'll kick it over to you, and you can do the same thing.
Cool. I'm Joe Maragliata, also known as Joe's Daily Online, and I live in Los Angeles, Encino specifically. Been here for a long time. So for San Diego, craft beer, actually, I used to be in addition to my own content from Joe's Daily, I used to write for Travelocity as well. And James mentioned earlier that I knew him before this tour, but I actually got to do a really fun tour with him with Hotshots Brewery Tour. Let me just make sure I get that name correct. And they're in San Diego. It's Hotshots Brewery Tour. And basically what they do is they take you in this like converted fire truck. Well, more like a ambulance size fire truck. So it's like one of the pre-trucks that get to a fire before the fire happens. Anyways, they converted it to this really cool tour bus essentially. And you drink beers on it and they take you around San Diego and you do all these fun tours. So I was kind of new to the San Diego brewery scene up until that trip. Even though I live in LA for many years now, I never really made it down to do brewery tours. So that was a really unique experience. And during that tour, I don't know if this will be a nice reminder to James if he's forgotten, but we toured, let me see, I have it in my notes here. Where are my notes? Hold on. I know we actually drank Coronado, which is what I'm drinking today. There it is. Sorry.
At AleSmith as well.
Yeah, well, that's actually, I was trying to find what you guys are drinking, so I couldn't find it in last minute, but we stopped at Ballast Point, Green Flash Brewing Co., Stone Brewery, AleSmith, and then, of course, they do a bunch of other San Diego brewery tours. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Did we go to Galaxy then?
Did you say Galaxy?
Yeah, the really tiny, I think it was Galaxy, the really tiny one with kind of a space and sci-fi theme.
We went there together.
No.
Okay.
I would remember that. I would have had photos from that.
Yeah, no, that's one of my favorite. Unfortunately, I believe they closed, unfortunately. But
oh wow,
the craft beer scene is kind of interesting here in San Diego. I don't mean to interrupt what you were saying, but
no, it's fine.
We definitely hit the big marquee ones, the kind of ones that a guy like Sujit that comes in from the East Coast and says like, I want to go to Stone because I know Stone in my grocery store. But there's this undercurrent of dozens, hundreds, maybe even of these small guys that come and go, and I absolutely love Coronado.
She's down.
We're gonna have we're having a wild show today, folks.
Well, cheers to beers.
Cheers.
The box that holds up my iPad, they have used a lot out of it, and so it doesn't have enough weight to hold up my screen.
There's all these the big guys like Coronado. I absolutely love because they have the scale, they have the precision. Yeah. But they bought one of my favorite ones, Monkey Paw. I don't know if you ever have been to Monkey Paw, but it's literally a hole in the wall, and they had great cheesesteaks where you had to literally go to a window in the back of it, and you just order your cheesesteak, and they had pretzels, and they had a tiny little brewer that was like a 5-barrel 5-gallon brewer or whatever. So they might have a beer there one day that's freaking awesome, and then the next day they're out because they sold it out. They drank it in a couple hours.
But I feel like that though brings back. It makes you want to go back because you know what? Even though it's a bummer, you're like, oh, that was amazing. I wish you guys would do it again. I mean, that's the limited edition style kind of craft you want from a company like that. You want to go back and kind of discover new things. So that's really cool. It's a lot of fun.
Unfortunately, they got bought by Coronado. And they just weren't able to make the jump from having a super dedicated, super loyal, passionate fan base to big enough to actually make money on a scale. Yeah. And I think Galaxy had the same thing. And then Alpine Brewing got bought by Green Flash, had exactly the same kind of situation where they made spectacular beer. And even the Green Flash, who expanded, I think they had a brewery in Belgium and a brewery on the East Coast in North Carolina.
They did. Yeah,
and they're making great stuff, and then they just lost it.
Yeah,
but we'll talk more about that in a little bit. I want to make sure that Sujit can talk about some of the stuff that his site and why he loves beer. I know your beer guy isn't on, but hopefully you can carry the flag for the Guys Gab site.
Sure. Yeah. So I'm Sujit from Guys Gab. We're a men's lifestyle site, and we cover spirits, beer, cars, tech, a whole gamut of things. And a couple of years ago, I was in San Diego for a trip and got to meet up with James and decided to spend the weekend and a couple of us got into a party bus and did kind of a informal tour of a bunch of the different local breweries. So I'm not really a San Diego IPA guy per se, so it was interesting getting a deep dive into what you guys have to offer over there. And I think it was actually you and me, James, but we went to Galaxy that day.
Yeah, I think I know we did. I just they were a favorite of mine because they had some really nice sours, and I'm a sucker for sci-fi. So anytime you have Doctor Who references in beer and Star Trek references in beer, even if the beer is not good, which their beer was very good, but even if the beer is not good, I'm willing to give them a shot. Kind of, there's a lot of breweries out there that, honestly, there's so much beer now that that everybody has good beer. There's some ones that have shitty beer, but I can excuse a not perfect beer if it's a fun place to hang out.
For sure. Can I ask something real quick? So just because it's top of my head, I just posted an Instagram photo from Whistler. I know we're talking about San Diego, but I was doing a Whistler beer tour, and probably not the most advised activity, but I threw axes after doing a beer flight, and I wonder. Is because I don't know San Diego, like I've only been there like maybe a handful of times, even though I've lived in LA. I just I travel so much elsewhere. I just and I don't really want to visit James, let's be honest. I'm just kidding. No, but seriously,
and that's why we didn't share the case of beer with you.
Oh, right. No, I wanted to ask: is there axe throwing? Is that? I know it's starting to move up to LA. There's I think there's actually one down the street from me now. Is that a big thing? I'm not trying to relate that with drinking necessarily, obviously, because that can be dangerous. but it's such a fun activity for groups, and you think of beer tours, you think of group activities. Maybe before the beer tour, you do some fun activities like that. Is that becoming a thing in San Diego more and more? Or
there's at least one axe throwing place just down the street from me, actually right by the Padres Stadium. I'm sure there's others.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know why this is, but you're probably similar to this with the amount of traveling you do. That I know more about axe throwing in Nashville than I do in San Diego. Because people from Nashville reach out to me, and I actually do, as far as drinking and throwing axes. I think that absolutely goes well together.
It does.
I actually went to a press event at LAX, LAAX, in close to Encino, up there, North Hollywood, somewhere up there. I don't know. Yeah, when I lived in Hermosa, Manhattan Beach. Now, I get out of the South Bay, out of the bubble. I kind of lose my bearings in LA. But it was up there somewhere. And went to an event, and I couldn't believe that they actually had beer and wines and stuff. And I was like, is this really safe? But, everything's in front of you. So throw the axe in front of you.
Right.
And they have really good instructors there too. Yeah. Well, you do it over your hand. You do it like this.
Well, okay. And to be fair, actually, it's when I did it. Obviously, I was doing it during a press. I was by myself. It was a solo press trip. But that being said, they're very professional. I mean, they're very. We weren't drinking at the location. I didn't drink at the location, but I'm saying I went to the location after, and they're very on top of making sure they're watching their. Because there was a what do you call it? A bachelor party that came after me, and they were rowdy.
Here's what it looks like in Nashville at Backyard Axe Throwing. And I think it's pretty much a similar concept.
Similar. Yeah.
And I know you're kind of dancing around the I didn't drink beer at the place. Well,
I'm trying to be
on The Bachelor. That was one of their dates. They went.
Yeah.
I'm from Texas. I went to SFA, Axe and Jacks, Lumberjacks. So I don't mind throwing things. You don't worry about that, Joe. I was just like other people.
Well, Joe, that the picture I threw up there. Our good friend Victor from
of course.
So before he decided to get all rich and stuff and become an entrepreneur,
let me tell you,
God bless him, keto cookie or Inui, I think it's called now.
It's so good.
He's kicking ass. So Kevin, we should have him on.
You should.
If we have a gluten-free, carb-free, alcoholic beverage, maybe we'll just have a water episode. But
he's killing it.
He is an awesome guy. But anyhow,
he was on Shark Tank. So.
That axe throwing was actually at a Nissan event. So Nissan took us to the Titan tailgate, where we were drinking lots of Nashville craft beer there, and then we were throwing a lot of axes, and then between you can't see in the picture, but there's actually every one of the ends of the lane had a beer bottle or a beer can because you put down the beer and then you throw it.
Yeah,
Right.
you definitely put down the beer to
X.
throw the X.
Victor was a badass. Although I cut the video together to make him not look quite as badassy, but look at everybody.
Earth, right?
What's that, Ashley?
You got to bring him back down to earth, right?
Right.
Yeah, a little bit. Well, I wanted to show the action. I couldn't really show mine because I was holding the camera. So I wanted to show the action of, throw a miss, throw a miss, throw a miss, and then, throw, and then, dead eye, bullseye. So the reality was more throw, hit, miss, throw, hit. But that, folks, is the magic of television, as well as the magic of beer enhancing your memories of what actually happened. So, but it was good times. I miss those automotive events. They'll be back, but axe throwing is definitely a cool thing. And to your point, doing a beer tour, you can just go around in a van and do whatever you want. But I think really planning a whole weekend, a guy's weekend, or Ashley, I know a lot of girls enjoy beer too.
I'm one of the guys. Don't worry.
Because I know Sujit on our trip we did a lot of other stuff too, including I think we surprised /embarrassed the hell out of the attendant at the fire pit.
Oh yeah, Coronado, yeah.
So to those of you who don't know Sujit as well as Phil as well as myself, we are all very open and joking about stuff, and I think as far as jokes, sometimes our jokes, while we get them, aren't received as openly as other people are. So it's three guys, or there might have been a fourth guy too. I can't remember if somebody else was with us, but there was a group of us sitting at a bonfire for marshmallows on the beach at the Del Coronado. And
Well, that just sounds horrible.
No, it was wonderful. But the pack.
I want to know.
The package was mostly designed for families where they didn't have alcohol, or for romantic getaways where they had like champagne and stuff. But they wanted to promote the fact that you could have it as a group of guys, and they had a good selection of San Diego craft beer there. And so who am I to say no? I don't want to enjoy a bonfire on the beach, eating marshmallows and drinking beer with my buds. So the attendant very nicely, said, "Oh, so are you gentlemen celebrating anything tonight?"
Oh no.
and Sujit, the ever clever guy, goes, "Yeah, these two guys just got married."
Oh my god.
And we all, the group of us were like, "Oh, that's funny," but honestly, it was wonderful because without missing a beat, the attendant there says, "Oh, congratulations, gentlemen! That's so wonderful." And that was exactly the right thing. And it made me feel good that he was that welcoming and that they were that comfortable with gay marriage and stuff. But at the same time, I felt like utter shit.
Yeah.
Because, we were not making fun of anything. We were just kind of joking around.
Of course not.
But it was very awkward for a few seconds. But no, I really shout out to the guys at Del Coronado because they were very, very friendly in terms of that. But it was a good weekend, and there's lots of things you could wrap around a beer trip.
Guess who plays there, Ashley? Like every other Sunday, Waze.
Yeah.
There's a Hermosa Beach musician, very popular. They used to play every Sunday at Patrick Malloy's, and he's down at the Hotel Del so it used to be Hotel Del every other Sunday.
Wise?
Yes.
I love Wise.
Yes, sitting on the he's a one-man band, and he'll play for like 2 hours straight. This sort of reggae-ish type stuff.
Okay. I just love it.
Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
he's down at the Hotel Del, and I was like, oh, you're kidding. So I went over to see him a couple times, which is pretty cool.
I've seen him streaming on Facebook. Yeah. That's so cool. Good for him.
Kevin, we should go out to the Hotel Del and do kind of a cross between Pub Club Live meets Men Who Blog Virtual Happy Hour, because we could go and social distance very easily out there and still be connected to their Wi-Fi network.
So that's
They have a tiki bar out there too, right on the beach.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, right along the.
That's
we
fun.
call it the bike path. We call it the Strand in Hermosa Manhattan Beach. For some reason here they call it the Boardwalk.
That's awesome. Ashley, did you say you're in Texas? Is that what you said?
I'm from Texas.
Oh, you're from Texas. Oh, okay.
Stephen F. Austin University, which beat Duke this year. and then lost to Alabama.
And you're so sad.
No,
I know why they
get
call it. I know why they call it the hazy. It's not the look of it; it's how you feel after a few sips, because it's pretty strong.
Well, that's interesting, Kevin. If you could bring it up to the bring your glass up to the camera, because for those of you at home, so AleSmith has made this 394 IPA for really forever, but this the hazy is a new one. So for those of you who are more familiar with the translucent one, this has, I think it's unfiltered, but I think it feels a little bit hoppier, but I'm not entirely sure.
It does have
Well,
a little. Not drinking the same beer, but I am drinking a Hazy IPA, whatever. But it's the same color as y'all's. I searched 4 liquor stores trying to find it so I could drink it with y'all. The same, but apparently Hazy is the same kind of make beer.
Well, apparently I should have made a run up there
I
to
tried.
drop some off. Not that Encino and Redondo are anywhere close to each other.
No.
One beach.
Wouldn't take long to get there now with the empty freeways.
True.
A lot
Well,
of
I've got.
actually people. What quarantine? People are out and about. Traffic is crazy now.
Actually, I want to ask you right now, because Hermosa Beach, all the fine folks in Hermosa, Manhattan Beach are going absolutely nuts now with the stay-at-home order. People live at the beach for a reason, but it's very crowded, for locals on the beaches now, right? What's the scene like out right there in the LA County?
People they're laying out, they're going out, we have more bike traffic than like normal traffic, which is worse traffic because you're dodging bicycles instead of cars, right? Everyone and their mother's out. It's crazy.
What about on the Strand, which is technically closed? Are people running, biking?
So no, the Hermosa Strand is closed, but the beach is for if you're moving, which there's people out. I have people videos, pictures. What quarantine? Back to that. What quarantine? And then Manhattan Beach Strand is open, but only because the walking path and the bike path are separate. I'm like, but yeah, it's the silliest thing. When you're on a bike, you're zoomed past. So what difference does it make if you are don't ask. I am not in charge of this.
Well, I think, unfortunately or fortunately, depending on your perspective, I think the quarantine idea is kind of done. I think it's. I don't think we can put it back in the bottle.
And then they're like, okay, yeah, or whatever it was, Now they're done. They're done. No one's wearing masks.
But it's interesting because I saw an article out of Berkeley that they're actually going to be shutting down some streets in Berkeley and allowing restaurants to have giant outdoor patios.
Oh, have you seen the ones that have like the tables? Have you seen that yet?
Oh yeah.
With the inner tubes.
Yeah, I was like,
it's kind of like a lazy river.
Right.
Yeah. Well, a friend of mine came up with an idea for the gas lamp, and I haven't had a chance to write about it yet on pubclub.com, but she thinks they should not only block off the gas lamp on weekends, but at least on Fifth Avenue, where a lot of the restaurants and bars are, and Lower Fourth Avenue, and have tables out actually in the street.
Like Beale Street.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's what they're doing in Berkeley.
Why not?
And so what I'm wondering is if you could do that and basically turn the gas lamp into a giant beer hall, like a beer garden.
That is her idea, and have restaurants be able to serve outside on a table in the middle of the street, have it blocked off to traffic. And I believe the California ABC law board just passed where you can actually take drinks outside, or a restaurant can, and be in that blockout. I don't exactly know the ruling they did on it, but they'll be able to serve out in the street. A restaurant would be. So I think it's a great idea, and I think it's something that would. And her point is, and she lived down here a long time, I call her the queen of the gas lamp, is that would instantly boost the restaurants and the bars, particularly the restaurants who are serving food and stuff, because it'll enable them to be at capacity with the distancing and open stuff up. And people would love to be sitting outside here in beautiful San Diego and enjoy a dinner and a few drinks. I think it's a great idea.
Absolutely.
I think it just depends on your tolerance for risk.
Everyone's Ubering and, no one's driving anyway. Everyone's walking or biking or whatever it might be. But Uber, I just saw on the news, it's like, they're hurting pretty hard because, they're doing the Uber Eats, but like no one's taking rides. So I feel like if you stimulate this outdoor drinking, then they're going to need a ride. Like that'll boost the economy, like I feel like we need to make it, like think outside the restaurants. Spread out. That's fine. I feel like the pier, I think that'd be perfect if we like branched out a little bit for some places that have it spaced out and.
Yeah. Suji, what's it like by you?
Well, we've got the second highest, rates of coronavirus in the entire country. So
Right.
pretty much till 2025.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's kind of
it goes away in like 2 weeks, right?
I mean, they're opening our beaches. I think the first week of June, maybe.
Mhm.
Go to the beaches anyway.
Right now, it's basically go to the grocery store, come home, stay inside. Our governor is kind of insane, but New York and New Jersey are kind of getting killed. So I guess I sort of understand it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where are you
Well,
at?
our governor's getting.
I'm in New Jersey, just outside of Philadelphia.
Yeah, I used to live in Newark for a minute, so I know the area.
It's
My
kind of
mom-
interesting how everything went from like the Republicans are being crazy to the Democrats are keeping us down.
Oh my
And
God.
if you look at stuff on the live stream yesterday for Mayor Falconer here in San Diego's talking about opening up the restaurants and his plan and stuff, people are calling Gavin Newsom a Nazi and that he's the tyrant. And I'm sitting there going, Gavin Newsom is probably one of the most liberal governors in the entire country. He's certainly not out there to take your freedoms. Well, I mean,
No.
I guess that could be a political argument that some folks in Michigan could probably debate.
Okay.
But
Here's
that's not here.
Here's the thing, though. I just want to chime in really quick. Here's the thing. My only concern. I'm not. My only concern is this: is like you get a lot of. I mean, granted, social media is just so fucking toxic. In the sense of like you just don't know what people really like. Someone can say something quickly on Twitter or Facebook, right? But really, they might have had a really bad day. Maybe someone's sick. Maybe they lost their job. Maybe they're just losing more money than they care to admit openly to their family and friends. You know what I mean? My only thing is this is like things are going to be different after this. It's going to be different. I think what's scary is the amount of people that haven't accepted that yet, and they haven't realized things will be different after this. That being said, no one is trying to I shouldn't say no one because that's very bold. I don't think there's a ongoing
There's no
evil
conspiracy.
trying to take away your rights. We're adjusting with the times. I mean, if you look at 200 years ago, right? I can't even imagine what it's like to live then. Look at the technology we have. I mean, this is amazing, right? This was not around. I worked for Apple when this came out. I was literally there when the first day of the iPhone came out. Blew my mind. I was the first day I worked at Apple. Blew my mind. That was so many years ago. The point I'm making is technology's changed. Our bodies have changed. All I'm saying is understand there will be change. It's going to be different. Just understand not everyone's out to get you. And I think if we can all get together and, kind of have that mindset of like, I mean, I would love to go to the beach and chill and not wear a mask. But at the same time, it's just for now, it's just like, come on, chill out. We're not trying to take your rights necessarily. Not everyone is. Just let's get on. Like Sujit said, like he's in a part that's not like our area. We're in California. He's not. It's like my mom's in New Hampshire. It's like I have a lot of family in New Hampshire. It's like way different there. My mom's back at work. It scares the shit out of me. My mom's back at work full time. And luckily I live from home. I work from home. Sorry. My wife and I work from home. We've worked from home for a decade. It's like, I don't know what it's like to go to an office anymore. I think we all can relate to that, at least in this chat. I'm assuming for the most part. That being said, it scares the shit out of me. You know what I mean? Like that my mom's back at work. She's not young. She's in her mid 60s. Mm-hmm. That being said, it's like if everyone kind of gets together, has the same mindset, we're all trying to help our neighbors, we'll be fine. Just accept that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to stomp on anyone's opinions. It's more or less just like, I want everyone, even if people that disagree with me, I want you to be safe. That way you can make my mom safe. You know what I mean? Like when she's out at work, you know what I mean? Like she deals with customers. She's a service manager at a car dealership. She deals with people all the time. And it's like, if they're not taking the protocols in place and the people going to get service, it scares you. So let's round this back. Same with breweries. I want them to serve their beer. You know what I mean? I want them to serve their beer. I want to be able to go in and grab a flight, but safely. And if it changes, who cares? We're all going to get beer, even if we have to tip up our mask and drink it. I'm down as long as I'm getting alcohol, consumed. So,
Well,
cheers.
I'm so glad that you said that, because Kevin and I are, I think, in alignment with you, but Kevin's definitely much more at a risk tolerance perspective. I mean, I'm still
I
thinking,
get it.
Kevin, you were sitting there ready to go to the St. Patrick's Day festivals the day before quarantine started, and I'm sitting there going, Kevin, you're nuts. He's like, oh yeah, come down to Pub Club Live, it'll be awesome, and it probably would have been awesome, and you probably would have been safe. But I think you have a little different perspective than I do. I'm going overly cautious. I mean, I just got a car delivery from Chevy today, and the guy tells me all the stuff he does to sanitize it and that kind of stuff, and I'm like, okay, great. Well, as soon as he left, I'm sitting there spraying it down myself. Because that's just who I am, and I have the fortune of I can operate my business indefinitely from my house, as long as I've got Drizzly and Instacart, and PUA money coming in. I know that just rubbed you in the wrong way, Kevin, because Kevin's still struggling with trying to get that in. But at the end of the day, if we can all just kind of come together, and I don't have to go out to the bars, but actually, if you want to go out to the bar, please do it. Please be safe, Kevin. If you want it, and I know Gabby, who joined us on Thursdays.
They've been open. Honestly, I've seen them afar.
Well, I'm saying, if you want to go, if the governor or the mayor decides that it's safe to go, then please support the bars.
I mean,
that
my friends for sure, because all my friends
that's
all these bars,
But I don't
It's
want to
just not
go to a
ready
bar
for-
where everyone's got a mask on, and I can't talk to someone 6 feet away. What's the point of going to a bar if you can't talk to people? I just don't think it's. To me, it's not appealing. I know some people are just itching to get out there like crazy, but if the rules are, you've got to be.
you can't.
You got to be. Well, it could be. It could be. I'm just saying that myself. I don't really have much desire to go to a bar, sit there with a mask on, and do this to drink, and everyone's got a mask on. I mean, to me, bar is social. It's being out. It's meeting people. It's hanging out with your friends or new friends. And I just don't have a lot of interest in, sitting there sipping a beer by myself and not be able to talk to someone who's got to sit 6 feet away.
Well,
That's me.
But we've had good conversations here in the apartment complex where you stood 6 feet away from me, and Digger has, and
but those masks aren't comfortable. I hate wearing
are
them.
you not drinking beer out of a straw? You know what I mean?
No, I'm
Mask with a straw, but
not going to drink beer out of. I'm not going to drink beer out of a straw.
a mask with like a straw hole.
I don't know if it's true or not, but back in high school and college, well, I should say college, because I did not drink in high school. Mom.
Right.
I until I was in college.
But they say that if you drink beer through a straw or drink whatever through a straw, they actually get drunk faster. I don't know if that's true or not, but
I don't know if that's a myth or not. I feel like
I thought that was for all alcohol, but I don't know.
So on our next
Well, I'm
stream,
sure,
on our
yeah.
next live stream, we're gonna put that to the test. We're gonna drink the same beers out of a straw and see how fast we. Make sure you all have the same lunch. Make sure you eat the same amount of food, and we're gonna put this to a test.
you drink I think is what it is. You drink a beer, you take a sip, right? When you have a straw, you probably take a little bit more than just a sip.
the funny thing is, because we don't have a musician on it, this might be the first episode where I don't get a copyright strike on YouTube. But I think now that we're talking about, I think you dropped the F-bomb. I probably dropped something.
Oh, my bad. We're not supposed to swear. I'm new here. My bad.
I don't fucking care. We've already got the strike, so I might as well strike it up.
My bad. Well, let's be honest. With the way YouTube is nowadays, unfortunately, everything's a copy strike if you're not kid friendly. Seriously, I have friends who make a living. They've made a living many years off YouTube, and they literally have lost almost all their investment, all their time, all their advertising, because if it's not kid friendly, it automatically has like a weird strike on it. That's it's a whole thing. I mean, it's the whole ad apocalypse or whatever they call it. Yeah.
Well, hell, AB has probably copyrighted the sound of a beer can opening. So let's get another copyright strike.
Hey, Margaret Chan, thanks for tuning in.
It's kid friendly because it's 21 and older. You have to be 21 to drink.
True.
I got
think
dinged on
people should
YouTube the other day for something, and it was just so stupid. I'm like, really? I gave up on YouTube for a while, and I was trying to figure out how to get it back. Although
I'm actually just getting back into it, Kevin. So I feel you on that, because I used to feel like I knew it, and now I'm just getting back into it because I'm just like I have more time on my hands, you know. So I'm just like putting out more content.
PubClub.com goes to bars a lot, so and a lot of bands. And the band might play a cover. I might be friends with the band playing the song, but if there's a cover or a DJ in the background, I might be covering an event like you know, most had all these like the volleyball tournament parties and bars and stuff, and the DJ happens to play a song in the background. I'm not stealing their music. It's just what's out in the bar, you know.
Right.
So, but there's no latitude for that. And they were freaking kicking everything out, and it drove me crazy.
About that.
Yeah. Oh no, they love like the big record labels. They have like a algorithm built into YouTube that can just take a little snippet and automatically know it's their song, even if it's muffled or it's pretty intense. Yeah.
And it could even be just a sample of an existing song, which a sample would be fair use, but
right.
You know, and that's, you know, I don't want to get to a political thing, but I think the challenge that we have is that it's not so much Gavin Newsom or Trump or Joe from Joe's Daily, the future mayor of Los Angeles, who is
hey, I'm moving out of LA.
Well, the future governor of Illinois. Then you know, Pritzker, watch out because you got a young gun on your tail. But I don't think it's so much the politicians that are the issue. I think it's actually intended benevolency of the tech media that is so afraid of controversy that they're willing to censor anything. But that being said, I think we've gone in a direction that may be contrary to the stated goals of this show. And thank you, Margaret, for reminding us that you know, it's all about
exactly.
It's all about beer.
I got y'all. Oh my.
And actually, that's a great segue too, Margaret. We're going to get back to beer in just a second, but let me throw Ashley up there, and I know she got the jerky a little bit before I did.
All right, I'm gonna grab another beer. I'll be right back.
Order steaks online from like Omaha. I was just expecting like one bag of beef jerky, and the only reason I haven't opened them because I know we actually serve this on my plane for work, but I haven't tried any of these just because he said wait till we are on the air. But Righteous Felon, which is a bourbon Franklin beef jerky. Wicked Cuts, Orange Teriyaki, the classic, which I already know I like, but I do like teriyaki and I like peppered beef jerky as well. But this one's sriracha style barbecue. I'm really stoked on a Tong. I can't believe these are all the same company. Pretty stoked on trying them.
Now, it's actually a jerky delivery service. So like, you know how you get like a watch of the month club and stuff. So you get these things. It's from Craft Jerky Co.
Yeah.
And I think it's $35 for 3-pack. You know, I just wrote this up actually. Let me go open up the thing. But it's you can get 2 bags. I think the 2 bags are only $15. And here, let me pop it open. If you go to actually menwhoblog.com right now, you'll see the link in the just below the slideshow for the Craft Jerky Company. We're doing a giveaway where you can win a box like this. All you gotta do is go there and click on some stuff and visit some pages and tell us why you want to get some jerky. So you can get a 8-bag box, which I think is what Ashley and I have, for only $45. Or you can get 6 bags for $35, 4 bags for $25, or 2 bags for only $15. But guys, if you're doing this for yourself, don't waste your money on 2 bags. That's just a waste of time. For $45, be a man, give a great present, and you know, while we're obviously more focused on men and fathers and husbands, as Ashley has more than excellently illustrated. Women dig jerky too, so get it for Mother's Day too if you got a wife or mom that digs it.
I'm going camping this weekend. I'm totally bringing this for snack.
So what should we open? I'm kind of curious about the Righteous Felon. That sounds pretty cool. I got the Righteous Felon Truffle O Soldier. Is that the same one you have, or do you have something different?
I have this one, the Righteous Bourbon Franklin beef jerky.
I like the packaging.
Cream of bourbon and vanilla.
So I have the Tong steak jerky. Is that the same one you have?
I do have. Well, it's not. Okay. Okay, this is funny. It's not the same.
So that, I think that's kind of the fun thing is that you never know what box you're gonna get.
Yeah, that's cool. That's
So
nice.
I got the green wiki. Ooh, that's got the green screen apparently is playing. Look, I have no face
the
anymore.
see-through. The see-through.
So you know what should we open up? I'm
Okay, what flavors?
you know what? I have the red tong. Did you see I have the red tong?
I have the tong, the sriracha style barbecue.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
good.
Let's pop that open and see how that goes. 'Cause I think the sriracha flavor will be pretty good. And I apologize to Kevin and Sujit who are sitting there going, and to Joe. Who are
I was
sitting
like,
there
what
going,
about me?
Here.
But the PR person for the Craft Jerky Co. Oh, you know what? I didn't open that properly. Hold on a second.
Wait a minute, where's your wife at?
You know,
My knife or my wife?
Margaret Tan was saying she hasn't eaten jerky since college, which in her, it's been a long time, she says. Is it healthy? Does it make you thirsty? Yes, it absolutely makes you thirsty, which is why drinking beer with it is perfect. And especially when Ashley goes camping, let me tell you, I could live off jerky. So if I had jerky and beer, I'd be set for the weekend.
So as far as is it healthy? I suppose that depends on your definition of healthy.
Right.
So
High
thing
protein.
I think the thing about these craft jerkies is that they're much higher quality. I mean, I was very privileged. I'm not going to say anything bad about Jack Link's because I was very happy to work with them, and they're a great group of people. But they make a different kind of product.
Right.
This one, it's got 1 gram of fat. Cholesterol is 15 milligrams. Sodium is 210 milligrams, which it's jerky. Who isn't surprised by that? But it's got 7 grams of protein.
What about the
4%
sugar?
Sugars in this one, sugar 5 grams.
That's actually really
too bad.
good. Normally,
Right?
it's usually 10 to 15. I feel like on average on jerky.
Barbecue.
But that's why I'm impressed because usually barbecue, it's gonna have a lot of sugar in it.
Oh, no.
This is actually
That's
really
good.
good. It's
Yeah.
spicy, but it doesn't.
Added sriracha style barbecue. I'm impressed with the 17 grams of protein per bag. So there's 2 servings per bag. And 1 serving size is 5. So 10 grams of sugar for this entire bag. So
Not bad.
everything times 2 for the entire bag.
Yeah, and for those who are watching, there's only 70 entries in this giveaway, so you might want to. You have a good chance of winning that.
What kind of giveaway are you doing?
Well,
I'm
glad you
talking
asked,
to
actually.
Yeah,
You can, go,
James.
you can go to menwhoblog.com,
Oh, how funny.
and we're giving away a box that's basically like the box that you and I got.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tell my friends about it.
And the guys are really cool. It's an independent company. In fact, I think the price is too cheap. But if you guys buy it now before they hear this episode,
Margaret Tan.
and just to be clear with all you guys at home, one of the things that a lot of us face, and Ashley, you're an influencer, but we're in the process of training Ashley to realize that she can actually make money and get stuff for the audience that she already has. But there's a lot of cynicism, and a lot of people say like, "Oh, James, you only like that jerky company because they paid you." And I would be absolutely lying to you if I told you that I've covered things that I wouldn't have covered because they paid me. But that's why it's disclosed. That's why we have a hashtag ad or hashtag sponsored. I try very hard not to make claims if it's something that I don't like, but I can still relate that hey, this is a product that that does this. That's totally fine. So for those of you guys watching, we are not being paid by Craft Jerky Company. They just sent us some product, and I legitimately dig it. I think the service is great.
Oh.
And that's one of the greatest things that's come out of this quarantine period for me, anyhow, is the fact that nobody's making any money. I mean, are you making even a quarter of what you were making a year ago, Joe?
No.
Yeah, and so what are you doing? You're doing things that you love. You're talking about things that you enjoy doing, and so you and I've had this conversation. Kevin, Kevin can't even talk good about the government because the government's not paying him.
I'm the only one in America who's not received I thought I was a stimulus check, and then
No, Kevin,
Barkley.
I haven't got mine either.
Barkley has
well, I'm sorry you haven't, but I'm glad to hear that. And our musician Thirsty Barkley said he hasn't got paid either, so it made me feel a little relieved that I haven't just been ignored.
Okay, wait, can I touch on that really quick for you guys? Because I thought I was the last person on earth not receive that. So no, I just got mine the other day. So I hope that gives you some relief because I literally felt like I was the last person on earth.
Me too.
What was it?
So-
A check, an email, or what was it? A card they send you, or what? What is?
No,
What is
wait,
it
you're talking about stimulus, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, no.
PUA, stimulus, it's all together.
Well, two different things. Yeah. So I have the PUA too, but the stimulus I just received. So if you have not received that, and Suji, I think I saw you said,
Yep.
I just received mine, and the way they did it for me is they did my wife and I together. So it was one check for both of us, which makes sense. I thought it was gonna be separate, but because we filed jointly, I didn't realize it was related to that way. But they gave me one lump sum check of the 2,400, the 1,200, whatever.
So it was in your mailbox, a check in your mailbox.
Yes, it was the check. Yeah.
Okay.
You go to your irs.gov to get payment.
Did I?
I did that, and I put it. It said not enough information, or you're not eligible.
Okay. All the information I had.
Well, Kevin, it's because that massive contract you got last year. We got paid $300,000 by Anheuser-Busch.
Okay, so
I haven't got paid by AB in a while, and it wasn't anywhere close to 300,000. I can assure you.
From my 1040, from my 2000, like my last year's taxes that I paid, I haven't done this year's, and I didn't know that number. So when it ended up, I asked a friend who asked my dad, and my dad told me, hey, they have that information that you're missing already in the IRS. All you have to do is log into irs.gov. It'll have that amount that you're needing, so you can get the deposit or you can get that ball rolling already in the irs.gov. So that you just got to log in there and get your tax return from the year before, take a screenshot, and you'll have the answer to the questions they're asking you. I'll help you later, but believe me, it took me some serious hoops to get that ball rolling. And then don't get me started on unemployment. That's
Well, hey, as much as I love talking about taxes and IRS refunds and stuff, Margaret, who I think the guys over at Craft Jerky Company need to give you a box or something, but I can't guarantee that, but I can guarantee you if you enter for a chance to win right now, you have a great chance of winning. Let's see if we have the bourbon flavor. I know you got the bourbon flavor.
Bourbon and vanilla bean, so I'll give that one a shot.
Wait, can I? I'm gonna try something real quick. Oh.
While you do that, I have a backup beer handy, and I kept it in here because I like my beverages cold. So I kept it in this little cooler thing.
Oh, look what I
with
just
ice.
found.
Oh, yeah, it's
I do have it. There was so much jerky in this box that I can't even imagine how much jerky there is. Oh, that really didn't make any sense, but
picking up.
so I couldn't hear a word of what Ashley just said because I think I was talking over her, so I apologize about that. But that's a great pour you're doing there, Kevin.
I have a lot of practice.
So we are now doing the Righteous Felon Craft Jerky Bourbon Franklin.
That's really sweet, but I'm gonna try it with beer and see how we go.
All right, look at that, folks. Doesn't that look tasty?
That's a perfect pint of beer.
Very nice pour there.
As I said, I've had quite a bit of practice.
You really taste the vanilla. That's totally different. I've never had vanilla flavor. I'm a steak lover. Sorry, people that are vegans out there and everybody.
Now, Joe, to your question earlier about the sugars,
Yeah.
this one also has only 5 grams of sugar, even though it's much sweeter.
Interesting.
It's
Yeah.
1 gram of fat, 20 milligram of cholesterol, 300 sodium, so it's a bit higher in the sodium.
Yeah. Well, I always expect jerky to have high sodium. That's just the way it is.
I'm so impressed with the other one.
That's
The
interesting.
Sriracha
though.
one was really good. I like the Sriracha one because the hops from the IPA really kicked the Sriracha up a notch.
Yeah, the whole package is it's more than this one. So this one has way more sodium.
So James and Ashley, I guess, are you guys familiar with any of those jerky brands before you? Because I don't think I know any of those jerky brands you guys are showing from the box.
We had this on United, and we used to have one that was like a spicy version, which I really loved. Oh my god, I can't even get the name of it. But I'm familiar with this.
Okay.
That I don't purchase it in stores, or I didn't. Every time I see it now, I want to because I've had it.
Mm-hmm.
but because it was like, oh, I could just get it on the plane. You know, I could buy it on the plane. You know, it's
Oh yeah.
on the plane anyway, or purchase on the plane. So
Cool.
no, but and then I get like an employee discount. So
Oh, okay, cool.
But
we
that anymore. We don't really do that. All the things that we used to sell. Well, I mean, I haven't worked in a month, so things have probably changed. But all the things we used to sell in the back are now what they serve in first class. So like they probably just give you a bag of the
Oh, okay.
all the little mini wines and stuff that we sell are what they serve as your drinks in first class. So, excuse me. So like everything's sealed. You know.
Yeah.
Bottle and the germs, and it's actually it's smart and it's safe. But it kind of sucks to be in the back now because all you get is a little bag of pretzels or
right.
Mm-hmm. No,
we need to get a Delta flight attendant and an American flight attendant on here. Because Joe is like super medallion class something or other. I see you getting driven around in Mercedes and stuff like that.
Oh, for Delta? Yeah. Wait, I think it's a Porsche. Yeah. What was that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I have an American pilot friend of mine. They would probably like to come on. Actually, who does I had a roommate. Let's say, who does this guy work for? I think he works for United, my crazy former roommate.
That would be fun just to like pick their brain because I feel like there's a lot. Yeah.
My friend, he likes to party and drink as well. Like he's a Delta captain. I could get him on.
Oh.
But hopefully not before he's going on duty.
Right.
And he lives like right in the midst of Memphis. So like literally you go out and you're downtown Memphis. Like he knows how,
That sounds sweet.
He would be a great person to be on the show. And he knows he's been through this tried and true. He's been with a bunch of different companies, airlines, ups and downs. Like, yeah, my friend Scott White.
Well, I found out from my pilot friends. I thought it was 12 hours you're not supposed to drink or something, but it's and I thought it was in the time you check in at the airport, but they call it the time you take off, bottle to throttle.
So
Joe's fan club is here.
Okay, so first off, if no one here knows Harrison Liu, it's a damn shame. Harry is one of a good friend of mine who I've known for many years. He's worked in the cruise industry. He went to Four Seasons for a while, then he's back in the cruise industry. I've been on many trips with him. He's a great guy, and he's not wrong. But to throw him under the bus, that man he can eat any one of you under the table.
Oh, he's like the little Asian girl.
Oh my, he is just a beast. But he's a good friend of mine. He's a good friend of my wife and I, and his wife Sarah is an amazing blogger herself, and she's amazing. Actually, Sarah would be fun to put on the show too. She's great.
Is it milk and flour?
No, that's my wife. His wife Sarah.
Oh,
is amazing.
Your wife is awesome too.
Oh no, she's a writer too. No, of course. Yeah, she works with me. Yeah, as well as a blogger as well. Yeah. But yeah, Harry's the best. He's the best.
And by the way, the sriracha ones are really tasty. It's got a really nice. Again, I swear I'm not being paid by them. I'm just being paid in jerky.
The camping trip. Yeah.
He's just getting paid in meat sweats. Yes.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
There we go. He put it in the chat. Jet Set Sarah. Check her out. That's his wife. She's amazing. He said he recommends Chinese beef jerky, which I'm curious about. Because I don't think I've actually had Chinese beef jerky. But then again, I'm obsessed with any type of Chinese food.
I do have a comment though. I don't know if bad or good, but high fructose corn syrup is like definitely a big.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's like the only one that I have is the one that we love.
The rest doesn't have it?
That one in it.
Yeah, Harrison, I'm here in San Diego. Kevin is in San Diego. Joe is in Los Angeles. Ashley's in Los Angeles. Sujit is in New Jersey. And I think it's funny that we started talking about bourbon jerky. And Tom is so excited to come on and talk about bourbon that he is just a black box.
Am I?
Here we
are.
There we go. Yay!
I thought the other camera was working. Cheers, gentlemen and ladies and everyone.
So you need to get some of this, Tom.
Oh, I'd love to. Wait, now tell me about that. The bourbon jerky.
It's from Righteous Fellow Craft Jerky. So Jerky Box, or Craft Jerky Company rather, sent us a box of, was it 8 bags? I think it was 8 bags of jerky. They have a jerky subscription service. You only got 4?
Oh, wow. Is it like a jerky
well, I
month?
actually got the short end of the stick on that one.
That's okay.
Oh,
It's okay.
Is it like a jerky of the month, or what did they do?
Yeah, exactly that. So you can get 8 bags or 6 bags or whatever, and they deliver it to you every month.
On it? You get the bourbon happening, or what's the?
Well, it's a random grouping of flavors. So,
Right.
that was the Bourbon Franklin, which seems to be a hit.
Wow.
If they haven't thought about this yet, they need to get Ron Swanson as a sponsor. Nick Offerman coming in hot. I mean, come on.
I don't know they have the butter to do that. To be honest, I think
after this live stream, they will. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we're gonna blow it up. We're gonna make them.
James, have you been eating more than like a bite of this? Because like the first spot I had, it was like all vanilla, but the second piece of it is like more like bourbon. So I guess it's like a mix, like because I was like all vanilla. I felt like it was like vanilla extract in that first piece I had.
I hadn't. I tasted the first one. It tastes a little bit bourbony, but not really. Honestly, I like the sriracha better. But
this one tastes way better. Take another bite.
okay.
That's pretty amazing.
And I apologize, guys. We're sitting there eating jerky in front of y'all. And
I know I'm starving right now.
I knew the beer thing was happening. I actually, though I love a lot of the San Diego breweries, I have some beer from very close by in Louisville, Kentucky called Goodwood, which all the beer they make has been influenced from a barrel or wood somehow. Used bourbon, the same wood that the Louisville Slugger beer, bats are made from. They influence the beer with that. They use wine barrels. So it's a great. But I love James and I saw the breweries in San Diego. We did a tour a couple years ago, and I loved what we saw, and can't wait to get back there and tour it with you, James, and now Kevin too.
so they make beer. Run that by me again. What about the Louisville Slugger tie-in?
Well, it's the type of wood that the Louisville Slugger is made from, and that they actually they're just down the street from Louisville Slugger. So that same type of wood, they influence the beer with that.
I see. And if you're out drinking a lot of that and there's pretty girls next to you, they get hit on a lot.
Right.
so, Tom, are you saying that you enjoy the beer so much that it gives you wood?
It could. Hopefully, it only goes down to not the opposite. It's white, called white ash, and so they influence the beer with the white ash. But they do some other bourbon barrels, and everything they do has wood in it. That's why it's called a name, right? But,
so is that aged in barrels, or is it just kind of like a like staves that are in the brewing process?
Yeah, aged in barrels. I believe the one with white ash has the wood as influence with some staves. But all amazing beer. This is the Spruce Tip IPA. So they're using spruce tips for the IPA that I'm trying.
And that's in Louisville, or is that in
Louisville? Yep. And they have an operation in Frankfort, Kentucky too.
Yeah, I had a bunch of that when I was doing the Tough Mudder with Old Spice in Kentucky.
Oh, cool.
Nice. I had a bunch of that. It was good stuff. Yeah, a couple years ago.
What were you doing in Louisville? And that's awesome that you were there.
Oh, I was there with Old Spice for Tough Mudder. We were doing the I was actually doing photos. I'm not gonna lie. I was there with the Old Spice guy. I was gonna do it, but I ended up just taking photos. I was like, I'll just take photos. It's cool.
Yeah.
Did you take some mud and put on your face just to
No,
oh my God, I'm so tired.
I thought about doing that, but you know what? My photos came out great, and all the guys, it was a bunch of lifestyle bloggers and stuff that were there with me, so they were all happy with the photos. I was like, I did my job sort of, and I just drank on the side. I was like, I'm fine. It was hot as hell that day too. Let me tell you.
I missed out on that era because I came in right at the end of all those amazing trips. Like when you and who was it that caught a fly that caught on?
It was Victor. It was Victor. Our friend Victor.
He got hooked on a fly.
Yes,
we were.
So I was a photographer. I mean, I'm a blogger. That's what I do full time. But I'm also a photographer, and I got hired by Old Spice to go to a dude ranch, and just do these amazing photos. The whole Old Spice. I'm on a horse you know, that whole thing. Well, so we had the Old Spice guy there, whatever. Anyways, so Old Spice guy was there, a bunch of fun, like all sorts of lifestyle bloggers were there, and Paul was there from the Awesomer.
Yep.
And I got photos of him on the force. Well, one day we're like fly fishing, and all of a sudden our friend Victor, we mentioned him earlier, the guy that ended up was on Shark Tank, whatever. Someone brought back the hook, and it was, I think it was his hook, and it got caught. I think it was his, and it got caught in his eye. And
Oh my god!
But the funny thing is the rancher there, you know, one of the cowboys comes over with a shot of whiskey and was like, I don't know what it was. So sorry, Tom, I can't tell you what bourbon it was. But he literally goes there. He goes, here's a shot of bourbon. We're going to take this out. And he's like, all right, man. So he shoots the bourbon and takes it out. But the PR girl was hilarious. She's showing me a photo of what's happening. And she's freaking out. She's like, what do we do? And I'm like, he'll be fine. He'll take a shot. He'll be fine. Don't worry about it. And he was. We went to dinner. Everything was fine.
Was that Gina or somebody else?
Wait, what'd you say?
Was that Gina or somebody from Old Spice itself?
It was someone from internal PR.
Okay.
So it wasn't who you mentioned. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It was a good time. It was a blast.
Citizen Relations used to do some great stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely caught a hook.
Was it Isaiah Mustafa, the original Old Spice guy?
My buddy Isaiah. No, the original is Terry Crews. Isaiah Mustafa is a buddy of mine now, and he became. Yeah, I think it was Terry Crews, then Isaiah Mustafa, and then they have like a new guy that I'm not too sure about. Yeah,
And you have Isaiah's kid now.
I was in a movie with Isaiah Mustafa about 6 years ago now, called Back in the Day. It was filmed in Indiana, so I got to hang out with him. He's really cool.
He's such a good dude. We became friends after that trip, and then we've ever since. He's a good dude.
You know what I love about getting?
We had a nice time. It's a great. If you get a chance to see it, I have a very small role in a Bachelor scene film, but it's called Back in the Day. It's Michael Rosenbaum and Isaiah Mustafa on a great.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
You know, I love how I can get a group of male bloggers together, and somebody can have this amazing story about like, oh yeah, I met Isaiah Mustafa, and then the guy just casually says, yeah, I was in a movie with him. And it's so frustrating because we all have this FOMO of being like, why is Joe in Budapest today? You know, why is Tom in you know hiking in the blah blah blah, or why is someone doing helicopter skiing? And you're like, but shit, I'm sitting there on a cruise ship.
Right, exactly.
Melbourne, you know what I mean? Like, I get it.
Yeah.
And Ashley's just taking care of us, making sure that we're all liquored up.
Well, shout out to Kegger Cates, who's watching. Good friend of mine. Hope you're doing good, Kegger.
Kegger Cates.
Kegger Cates. Kegger Cates is actually a St. Bernard's name, and because he swore he would never himself get on Facebook. So he's technically not on Facebook. It's his St. Bernard. That's on funny. Facebook. So
that's awesome.
And Kegger Cates, the Kegger Cates used to have a sailboat in King Harbor Marina. We would go to Catalina. He didn't like to go to Avalon, so we'd always go to Two Harbors, which is about a 5-hour sail, and it's pretty good. You talk about drinking beer. What do you do on a sailboat? You drink beer, rum, and
rum
tequila
punch.
because you're sitting in this cabin, and all you're doing is sitting there for 4 or 5 hours over to Two Harbors.
Jerky.
There's not much to do. So
and jerky.
And actually, that's where we would always go and have buffalo milks at the Two Harbors, Two Harbors bar.
We're gonna have to go back, and I guess we'll have to go to the other side of the island on our own, huh?
Well, we have to go to get Ashley a buffalo burger and some buffalo milks.
Let's take Gabby, and we can go for her birthday.
Gabby can make them, right? Gabby can make anything. She's our bartender.
I wanted to go to Catalina, and I haven't had it at Catalina, so I figured 2 birds, 1 stone.
Wait till you see what she's going to make on Thursday. We've got this Ron Barcelo rum, Imperial rum, we were sent, and Gabby's she knows every recipe of the Smuggler's Cove tiki bar in San Francisco. Have you guys been there? She knows every bar recipe in that, and it's like a book of tiki and rum drinks. And she knows. So, yeah, she's going to make one of the drinks out of there. And Ashley, you're going to get one. She's going to make you a batch ahead of time, but you need to take some over to Barkley, or Musician, as well. So,
he's on the ride home. So
yeah, I don't know where Barkley lives. You probably do. So,
6th Street.
But Barkley will play
Let's
extra
tell everybody
good.
on the air so he can have some new friends tonight.
Hermosa Manhattan Redondo, whatever that is.
They just did a virtual.
He did a happy hour concert on Friday on his rooftop.
Nice.
That was great with 2 or 3 musicians doing live music together, acoustic, and that was a really, really nice show. So, and he's going to be back on. Tom, you remember him before from one of our early shows.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. So Barkley Roach will be
It'll
on.
be fun.
A headset, like a wireless headset, so we were all social distancing on the rooftop. Awesome.
Were you there?
It was really cool. I'll just send you pictures later. They like glow green on the sides and everything.
That's cool.
It was really cool. The sunset was going down at the end of it. It was a really cool show.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah.
And I
So-
also
so-
like the fact that unlike some of our other guys, we don't get copyright strikes because he does a lot of his own music.
Yes, exactly.
He's itching to get back to it. Like, yeah.
Although we might. Tom, I have a question for you about I've had before when Anheuser-Busch was sponsoring me. They had a bourbon barrel beer,
Yeah.
and it was strong. Why is it that beer so much stronger than just not in a Budweiser, but more of a craft beer? I mean, it was good, but you couldn't. That's not a pounding beer. So why just being in a bourbon barrel, make it that much stronger?
Well, and I think I tried one of these. It was a couple years ago. Usually, barrel-aged beers or barrel-aged anything like, say, barrel-aged wine that's put in a bourbon barrel. It's those. Probably what you're getting are those elements that actually were trapped inside of the bourbon barrel that have really, imparted their love and the elements themselves to give you the flavor on the beer. So, like, if you think about vodka versus bourbon or gin versus a rum that's aged, what's easier to drink typically? I mean, obviously I prefer whiskey versus clear spirits, but if you think about what's easier to drink, the barrel actually, the system is actually going to process it differently because there's more elements in it versus the clarity of a typical beer. That's my guess. And also the proof is usually a little higher because the bourbon has gotten itself on there. That's my guess.
And that's what I've been told as well by some brewers that Devil's Cut or Devil's Cut. Jim Beam is actually made from soaking the staves from the barrel because there's actually a lot of alcohol in there. It's kind of nasty compared to what you normally pour out of the barrel. So when you put the beer in the barrel, that alcohol comes out, and so you might have a beer that's 4.2% or whatever a standard Budweiser is, with a 130 proof spirit, and it only takes a little bit of that spirit to leach into the beer to raise it from a 4.25 to a 5.5 or something like that.
Right.
There was a bar at Pacific Beach that we went to do it, James. So I went on a Budweiser bar tour, so to speak. So we hit 5 or 6 places with the Budweiser team or an Anheuser-Busch team, and that was one of the beers that we had. So we're just, knocking down beers all night, and it was that's before I moved here, but I definitely got a hotel room around here.
So I know we probably got to wrap it up because I have to actually sober up a little bit. I've only had 2 beers. I'm not so bad, but I gotta drink some water, have a sandwich, and then I'm gonna drive my car out to Santee to go swap because I'm. We've been talking about the recovery efforts and kind of adapting and stuff, and I'm actually getting to the point now where I'm comfortable doing car reviews again, so I'm pretty excited about that. But tomorrow night, Tom, you and I are going to be talking with Belfour Spirits. I haven't even opened the bottle yet because I like to get it kind of a surprise for right beforehand.
Like Christmas Day opening. Right?
What's that?
It's like at the Christmas Day, the surprise of the whiskey flavor.
Exactly. It's like the FedEx package of the day. But
by the way, real quick, shout out to Not Plain Jane. Thanks for tuning in, Not Plain Jane. Sorry, James, to interrupt you, but I like to acknowledge people that I know that are watching.
Right.
Sorry to interrupt.
No problem. And then Tabitha, the answer to your question is we do drink different drinks on each show.
But we try the same.
This one happens to be a beer episode because we were blessed by friends at AleSmith who sent us the Hazy 394 IPA, which is absolutely delicious and pairs really, really well with that Sriracha jerky. But Tom and I are talking about a whiskey tomorrow night from, I think they're from near Texas.
Yeah.
And then what do we have? What are we drinking on? We're drinking the Ron Barcelo rum on Thursday.
I think we're going to do Ron Barcelo on Thursday because Gabby's got the recipes, and
Cool.
they're it's really, really good rum. It's I'll give him a little shout out now.
Holy cow! You've gone through that bottle.
Ooh,
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
this is actually something they sent me a couple years ago.
you just got
separately.
that one today, right?
Oh wait, you didn't get a fresh one?
No.
Yes, I got a fresh one. I just
Okay.
This one's handy. This one's
Hey.
handy because I'm at my tiki bar, and so Gabby's going to make that wonderful Smuggler's Cove cocktail. Ashley and I were actually in the Smuggler's Cove in San Francisco almost a year ago. Right to this day, we were.
Literally just a few days ago. It was a year ago.
Yeah, it was almost about a year ago. We went there. We met some crazy people from England and went there, and we had the one with the orchid in it, all these flavorant colors in this beautiful glass.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, our bartender knows every freaking recipe in the book of drinks from the Smuggler's Cove.
Awesome.
James, do you guys ever do wine tastings and wine talk and stuff?
I'm glad you asked.
Because wait, my cousin is Tabitha, and I know the MedHod company.
okay.
I know their whole company there likes to drink wine, and I know her husband likes to drink wine, so that might be a fun thing for her to join next time.
So last week we actually featured Dofo talking was it Tuesday? Yes, it was last
Oh,
week.
I saw that. Yeah.
No, because we definitely like wine. And then actually, Joe, I'll contact you offline. I got to figure out exactly how many people we have on the show and who can actually do it. But one of the things that we really like doing here is supporting independent producers and especially those who are trying to adapt to kind of the situation that we're all in. It's kind of a shitty situation. Some are easier than others. There's actually a winery in Escondido, California, which is North County, San Diego, that is on the property of a Mexican land grant from 1850. It's a huge, huge piece of property.
Wow.
And the owner decided that they would rather keep the winery open, even if it meant essentially giving the wine away. So these wines are normally sold. It's Rancho Quieto. And I probably slaughtered that name, but I apologize to the folks who are sponsoring me with wine. But anyhow, they normally sell these wines for like $30, $40 a piece, and they're good wines. I think, Kevin, you were having some last night.
Their claret, I'm telling you what, is excellent. And a couple of their reds, or their cab is really good. Their claret is absolutely fantastic.
And so they the cases would normally be like $400, $500 a case for 12.
Mm-hmm.
They're selling these cases for $99, including free shipping now, because the owner wants to just keep the winery open and keep the people employed and keep people the supply going through. So I've been working with them, kind of figure out like, hey, how can we do something fun? So we're actually going to be doing a tasting show coming up either on June 3rd or the week before that, the 27th, I think it is.
Nice.
We're going to feature some San Diego influencers. That's why I didn't immediately reach out to you, but LA is essentially San Diego North.
Yeah.
Especially for the New York PR people.
Right. True.
And so
True.
we're going to be doing a tasting where we're going to have some guys on there. Their Som's going to be joining us. We're going to open up with I think it's the Claret Blanc. Then we're going to go to their the Pinot, and then their Merlot. It's actually an unoaked Merlot. So I have not had an unoaked Merlot because usually a Merlot you got heavy tannins, big bold fruit.
Right.
But it's actually really, really interesting because it's a softer Merlot, lower tannins, and a very clean fruit flavor. So it's not for everybody, but it's a really good thing. So anyhow, we're going to be doing that. I think it's going to be $59 for the 3-pack, which obviously when you look at $99 for a case or $59 for a 3-pack, it's
Right.
if you know you like it, please go buy the case.
Yeah, of course.
But if you want to kind of try their wines and sample their wines and then get the case of whatever you like, it's a great opportunity. So we're going to be doing that. Overall, I love wine. I know there's guys out there like you that love wine.
Yeah.
Kevin doesn't look like the wine kind of guy, but he enjoys wine. And and just so those folks of you who think that we're a bunch of biased assholes, and there goes the YouTube strike again. Because
vouch for y'all. Y'all are great.
just like there are phenomenal women out there who enjoy jerky and beer and can throw back whiskey better than I can. There's a lot of guys out there who don't look like the typical wine snob who's not, circling the glass around, going like, notes of toasted oak and hickory, or tobacco and all that kind of stuff. Wine is a drink that's intended to be enjoyed. So freaking have fun and enjoy it. There's a lot of guys that come back from a fishing trip and instead of drinking beer, instead of drinking whiskey, would love to just have some Pinot with their salmon or whatever it is. So we love to promote the wine industry as well. So Joe,
I like wine tasting rooms.
Me
and that's
too.
why I love going to
I'm a
Monterey,
huge
Carmel.
fan. Yeah.
And I just love going there and going to a tasting room, particularly if it's something's lively. And there was one in Carmel where this little van or something came in, like a party van came in. So all the wine tasting rooms were just a bunch of fun. It was a Saturday in Carmel. And I actually like the tasting rooms more than having someone drive out to the winery.
Yeah.
Someone's got to drive. But I love like a group like Monterey, Carmel. I know Santa Barbara has them. Places that have a cluster of wine tasting rooms. We can go hit 3 or 4 in a row. Carmel's got the Carmel Wine Walk where you buy a package for like $50 and it gets you into like 8 of their tasting rooms. It's a fantastic deal. And I like that because I like the camaraderie. And to me, there's some wines that are really good, but a lot of them are not. They're mediocre or so. But being in an environment, and that's just the way I am. Period. I'll if the beer's not great, but it's good. Being in a fun environment, watching a sports bar, watching something like that. So I can see, Joe, you agree with me too there on that because I know Ashley does too because she likes watching the Cowboys with a beer in her hand.
So she enjoys the firefighters driving motorcycles. So for those of you who didn't tune in last week, apparently in Temecula, among the very wide selection of wine tours and beer tours too, I guess, one of them is a group of firefighters that has motorcycles with sidecars, and I was just down for the riding around in a sidecar. I think that'd be kind of a cool way to go from winery to winery. And then the lady or the person's, I can't remember if it was Annette or if it was Damien, who said that they're also happen to be firefighters. And I can immediately see Ashley's eyes open, and I think my wife downstairs, I could hear her eyes open.
You can hear
Some loud eyes.
You got to hear her eyes open.
Honestly, I'd rather have the helicopter ride than a firefighter.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
They're also converting a VW bus to take you to the wineries.
But sorry, James, I know you probably got to wrap this up. I just wanted to say something real quick. The reason I brought up the wine was because you remember Juan Munoz Oca?
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
He hit me up recently. He might be fun to talk to. So he's the head winemaker of Columbia Crest. And they're a great wine company. I think they really make some really cool, innovative wines. But I chatted with him recently too. So he
Juan got a promotion, didn't he?
I believe he's
over St. Michel Wine Estates.
Right. But that's what I'm saying is like I think he'd just be fun to chat with, like regarding just the winemaking process in general.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'd be someone you wanted to do something with soon.
I think he'd be fun because he's a really cool guy. I remember him
He's
telling
really
us
cool.
So Joe and I were also ambassadors for Columbia Crest for a while years ago. And I wish they wouldn't have killed that program. And actually, I found another bottle of that crowdsourced Cabernet. I have no idea if it's good still or not, but I have so many samples that come in that I can't drink everything.
Right.
And so sometimes things get buried. So I'm hoping that stuff is good.
That's like.
Well, no, I mean, I have over $1,000 worth of wine sitting in my living room right now, and it's not that I don't want to drink it, but literally every day I get another sample that comes in, and
Sorry for you, James. I really do.
So just as a preview for you guys, and again, I have no financial connection with them, but Thursday when we do the Memorial Day cocktails and stuff, I'm probably going to be popping open my bottle. In addition to my Ron Barcelo, I have a bottle of I think it's a hopped Chardonnay from Murphy Good up in Sonoma, and it's a collaboration with one of the breweries up there. So we're going to be I'm going to be tasting that. if not, if for nothing else, the fact that it's been sitting in my collection since pre-COVID, and I don't know how long a Chardonnay is going to last without going bad. Whereas I know a Malbec or Cabernet
Right.
is going to last longer, but I want to make sure that I enjoy that one before it goes bad. But yeah, Joe, I would love to do a wine tasting thing. 'Cause I think this format is good for kind of just chatting. But
Right.
If you want to set up something where once every week, once every couple of weeks, we just have 4 guys or 5 guys or
Okay.
a couple people kind of come together and
Yeah.
maybe it's a half an hour episode. Maybe we just do one wine and taste it and talk about what we like. And
Yeah, I also have
sign off.
Charles Smith who would be into this. He's like a rock star winemaker from Walla Walla. He'd be a lot of fun.
Walla Walla, the home of Batman, or Adam
Oh
West.
man, yeah. No, if you guys haven't tried Charles Smith wines, once again recommend that. Just putting it
Not
out
Charles
there.
Shaw, Charles Smith.
No, Charles Smith. Charles Smith. No,
And-
way
and
different.
not Charles Barkley wines.
and not Charles Barkley wine. No.
Although I would totally drink a Charles Barkley wine once.
Well, one time when you get really bored, I'll tell you my Charles Barkley story when I was a sports writer and my literally run-in with him.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
that's a whole episode.
And Tom, it involved Kentucky basketball too.
Oh my! Did it really? Wow.
Yes, it did. Yeah, so literally, Charles Barkley's running with me actually at an Auburn, Kentucky game.
And Harrison, I don't know what PR clients you work with, but I would definitely love to learn more about your stuff too. Thanks for joining us.
Only the first class. Exactly. Oh man. 100%.
I think that was the
Oh,
Schlitz
that's
model,
funny.
wasn't it?
I like that guy. That guy's got a quick win. I like that.
Oh, Harry.
Here, actually-
we can attest to that.
Hey, Joe, do you have Harrison's? Are you on Facebook with him?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, absolutely.
Send him the invite link
To what? Sorry, to what?
to join us right now. Harrison, I don't know if you're.
Are you decent?
In here,
Are you decent there in Miami right now?
You're hearing us. Like, come on, let's see you.
Hold on.
Well, good thing I got another beer on ice. So I'm supposed to write a press release this afternoon.
Here, Harry, if you're interested, I'll shoot you an email.
The link, Harrison. We want to hear you. We want to hear you.
Not decent. Okay, well, you know what, Harry? Then
okay.
if you are not presentable, then
Go on.
I would rather see you and meet you in person when you're ready to. Work from home fashion issues. Well, I'm wearing a t-shirt here, and so
I wear the same shirt all the time.
just don't stand
That's
up.
right. Because pubclub.com believes in being branded. Pubclub.com here. Pubclub here. Look at the back of this.
Dang. I need to get someone to walk around with a Joe's Daily shirt all the time.
Hey,
like
if you want to know why I'm always wearing the same thing every episode.
Well, there's a group of girls, the Pub Clubettes, that I've had for a while, and even made a calendar one year, and they would go around to events with me and do bar promotions. And I've got these little
smart.
temporary tattoos. You put, the girls would go put them on the guys' cheeks, and they would just freaking fawn all over them. And Ashley came on
Got that.
about a year ago when we started doing Pub Club Live, or maybe a little before that. Actually, it was the first time was when we flew over to Catalina Island for the buffalo burger, but the grill was broken, and the buffalo milk we didn't get. And we're out there, and Ashley's like, I'm sorry, Ashley, neither one of these things is working. And she says, well, you know what I say, when life gives you lemons, make champagne. So she had a bottle of champagne with her.
So yeah, when life gives you drink champagne. That's what we had to do.
Love it. Love it.
James, you don't have that photo handy of her with the by the airplane, do you? I sent you a while ago.
I learned not to go searching for random photos to put up because you never know what happens when you hit the wrong button.
Yeah, you hit an interesting one the other day.
Especially when you're live. Yeah.
Like, oh, no.
Us in the rum drinks, Kevin. I know because he sent it to Gabby.
Oh my gosh. Well, you need to go on. You need to get in touch with her and get drinks for you and Barkley before Thursday's show. So get in touch with her, and she'll make up a batch either the night before or something. So you and Barkley can have it.
Well, guys, I would love to let this wander on for another hour and a half, like our last show.
So much fun. Come on.
But I seriously need to run up to drop my car off so I can keep it safe from being on the street with all the critters. Um, but it was great to have you on Joe. Definitely would love to have you back in a few.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Let's definitely do the wine episode. I will see what I can do about getting you on the Rancho Quieto thing. Just FYI, I just got an email saying we are no longer doing the Pinot. But if you have input, the other options they're looking at are the Grenache,
That's good too. That Grenache is really good.
Love Grenache, yeah.
I'm not sure how to pronounce the Colonnade, which I really like the Colonnade. The Rockwood Rouge, which is also really good. So,
That's pretty good.
honestly, it's a really interesting winery. Joe, I'm going to see if they can send you, regardless of if you're able to be on the show or not, because not only do they have kind of the standard. I mean, everyone has a Merlot. Everybody has a Cabernet. But they've got some orange wines, which are essentially kind of like rosé, but they are. I believe they're normally white, but they are they're with the skins, so it has kind of an orange hue. And they have a peak pool. Which did I give you the peak pool, Kevin?
No.
Okay, you would have remembered the peak pool because the peak pool is kind of a sour apple flavor, and it's very interesting.
For wine?
It's not the kind of wine that you would normally like. I don't see you sitting there and having a glass of peak pool with dinner, but I can see kind of as an aperitif, as a tasting room thing. So highly because these guys really aren't bound by the conventional limits of economics, they can do whatever they want, and so it's really fascinating the different stuff. So I know that once quarantine breaks, they are wanting to do more influencer stuff.
Cool.
They also have a cattle ranch, and they have a avocado orchard, and they have a lemon orchard and stuff like that.
Wow.
And a helicopter. So I know Ashley will be there for that.
Actually,
because the ranch is so big that they have to have a helicopter to go from one vineyard to the next.
Dang, that's awesome.
I think that apple would be good for like appetizers. So like you choose your wines and apple, like slices apple wine. I think maybe
Sure.
Well, yeah. That's what I'm saying, Kevin. Is an aperitif. I'm probably slaughtering the pronunciation on that, but
you did well.
I have no idea, but
anyhow,
that's
we
fine.
just-
That's fine. And their Grenache is really good, and I'm telling you, that Claret is outstanding. So I could have a case of Claret. It's that good. It's that really good.
I'll take one.
So to answer your question, Tabitha, we are equal opportunity drunks here.
Absolutely.
We enjoy independent spirits and supporting people who are trying to do interesting and cool stuff, and that goes for whether you're a bud tender at a dispensary, whether you're a brewer, a vintner, a meadery. We're really all about promoting interesting things that we think guys especially, but women also would enjoy, and hanging out and talking about it with our best friends. So thank you,
And
Tom.
James and Tom,
Thank you, Joe.
James and Tom got me drinking bourbon and whiskey, even though they laugh at me because I pour orange juice in it.
Well,
You know what, Kevin? I've been actually putting OJ in a few of the rums that we've gotten. So
Definitely put OJ in your rums, no doubt. Put OJ and some guava juice and some rum, and top it off with the floater, and you'll have a good rum drink.
yeah.
Sounds good.
James, what are you going to make for Thursday? You're going to take, are you going to put orange juice in your Ron Barcelo?
Well, that or your frozen lemonade.
Ooh.
No, frozen lemonade with rum? I don't think so. If you whip it up, maybe so.
I don't know. No, I don't know. Whatever. We'll have to talk to Gabby and see what she recommends. I've got plenty of limes and lemons. Like I said, I'm going to try that Murphy Good wine. But I enjoy the spirits just straight. I mean, I enjoy a good cocktail, but I also know my limitations, and I know that a cocktail that Gabby makes for me is going to be far, far better than anything I can make for myself at home.
No doubt.
And so,
Though she gave me like a disclaimer. She's like, "Add a little extra in there," And
Joe's like, "Who's this Gabby girl? I want her to bartend for me."
I know. I'm like, I'm gonna have to be part of that one.
well, then, actually, Joe, the guy from Izo, have you had connection with Izo Mezcal yet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Not like a yeah.
They were on our show on Thursday, and we're going to be
what
doing
a personality.
a tasting show with what was his name? Was it, I can't remember his name, but anyhow,
Gaston.
Gaston. Because not only do they make mezcal, but they also have a bacanora and a sotal and some other stuff too. So we're going to be doing a tasting episode coming up featuring him. So depending on how the guest list works.
Oh, very cool. Nice.
It's a very, very clean spirit.
Is strong. This stuff is really, really strong. You can do just sipping, and at Gabby's instruction, I made a margarita with fresh limes in it, and James gave me a little agave juice, and it's outstanding.
Nice.
And it was really good, very smooth, but very strong. So very, very, very strong. And Gaston is fun, so he's going to go take us tequila tasting right in that Old Town Tequilas store, and we're going to go to some restaurant you guys recommended. So we made a nice bonding friendship with him, and he was great.
That's awesome.
And then Gabby was making these exotic looking cocktails that were just off the charts.
The options that she makes, like, I've never, like, very impressive.
That's cool.
Well, guys, I'm going to go sign off. Remember to always, you can follow menwhoblog.com for more information about this. We've got the giveaways. Actually, we have 2 giveaways. We've got a Griffin router, which is a security router for those of you who have kids, which is none of us that are actually watching this or on this episode right now. But if you want to lock your wife or spouse out of different sites, I guess you can use the parental controls for that that as well. But probably more interestingly, we have the jerky giveaway. So make sure to check out menwhoblog.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube, which is growing exponentially. We had a 3,000% increase, which seems awesome until you realize that it went from 6 to like 40.
I need to work on your PR skills. You need to stop right there.
Right.
Well, you're absolutely right, but I'm happy with every incremental growth we have. I think definitely most of you guys are watching on Pinterest we're watching on Pinterest too. Now we're watching on Twitter and Facebook. But the interesting thing is that we're seeing growth in the episodes being watched after the show on YouTube. So that's really, really nice to get some traction there. Cool. And I guess Harrison says none of us have kids. Okay, Harrison. Well, then, like I said, you can lock your partner or your wife or your cousin out as well. But anyhow, make sure you join us every Tuesday and Thursday at 1:30 p.m. for a virtual happy hour. They are intended to be about an hour show, but we are stretching that every episode to at least 90 minutes, unless the conversation sucks, in which case it might only be 25 minutes. But as long as Ashley is here, as long as Tom's here, as long as we have awesome guests like Joe and Sajid, who unfortunately had some technical issues that drop off, we will be going as long as you guys are watching. So thank you for those 50 people that are still watching. See us on Thursday. Have a great day, guys.
Later, guys. Have a good one.
All right. Cheers everyone.